Section 3.5, Loans and Mortgages, Video 2. We will cover the following objective: determine mortgage payment amounts. Mortgages. First, we need to cover several definitions. Mortgages are a type of installment loan used to purchase a home. A down payment is an amount of money that a buyer pays upfront to the financial institution or lender to go towards the purchase of the home and loan. Variable rate mortgages or adjustable rate mortgages, called ARMs, have interest rates that vary over set time periods. Rates can vary, increase or decrease, weekly, monthly, or yearly. Fixed rate mortgages have the same interest rate for the entire term of the mortgage. The formula for fixed rate mortgages is the same as the formula for installment loans. We covered installment loans in the previous video for Section 3.5. Example 4. Suppose Leona would like to buy a $375,000 condominium. Their bank will offer them a mortgage for 15 years at an interest rate of 5% with a down payment of 20%. Leona will be making monthly payments. A. What is the amount of the down payment? B. What is the amount of the mortgage? C. What is Leona's monthly mortgage payment? D. How much interest will Leona pay over the life of the loan? For A, we need to find the amount of the down payment. To find the amount of the down payment, we need to multiply the amount of purchase, so the total amount of the condominium in this case, times the percent for the down payment. And that will equal the down payment amount. So here, the amount of purchase is $375,000. The down payment amount is 20%, which is converted to 0.20 in decimal form, and we must convert it to decimal form. Multiplying $375,000 times 0.20, we have an amount of $75,000. So the down payment is $75,000. Part B, what is the amount of the mortgage? To find the amount of the mortgage, we need to take the amount of purchase and subtract the down payment amount. So the amount of purchase minus the down payment amount we found in Part A would equal the amount of the mortgage. So the amount of purchase is $375,000 subtracted by the $75,000 given for a down payment. So the amount of the mortgage would be $300,000. For Part C, we need to find Leona's monthly mortgage payment. Here, we will be using the same formula for installment loans that we used in a previous video. The principal amount will be the mortgage amount. So notice it will be $300,000, not the $375,000 purchase amount of the condo. The rate is 5%, which must be converted to decimal form, which is 0.05. M is 12 for the monthly payments. For the denominator, it would be 1 minus the quantity 1 plus rate is 0.05. M is 12 raised to the negative 12 times 15 power. 12 represents the monthly mortgages. There are 12 months in a year. T represents the 15-year mortgage. Multiplying the numerator, 300,000 times 0.05 divided by 12 gives us 1,250. Calculating the denominator, we get 0.526897. Note that we do not round until the final solution. However, for the purposes of this video, we need to put at least 6 digits so you know approximately what value should be in the denominator. Dividing 1,250 by 0.526897 gives us an approximate monthly payment of $2,372.39. Note we always round up for loan payment amounts to ensure that the entire loan is paid. So the monthly payment is $2,372.39. For Part D, I'm going to scroll up. How much interest will Leona pay over the life of the loan? There are several things we need to consider here. First, we need to find the total amount paid for the mortgage. Then we need to find the interest paid on the mortgage. Part D. First, we need to find the total amount paid for the mortgage. To find this, we need to multiply the following values. First, we need the payment amount at each interval, in this case, the monthly payments made, times the number of payments made per year, times the number of years the loan is good for. And that will equal the total amount paid for the loan. So this amount is all the interest and principal combined. So the total monthly payment was $2,372.39. There are 12 payments done per year, and Leona will have the loan for 15 years. So the total amount paid for the loan is multiplying $2,372.39 times 12 times 15, which gives a value of $427,030.20. Now, to get the interest paid on the mortgage, we take the total amount paid for the loan, what we just found, minus the amount of the mortgage. And this will equal the total interest paid on the mortgage. So we have $427,030.20. That was the total amount paid for the loan, minus the amount of the mortgage, which was $300,000. That is what was financed, not $375,000. Be careful here. So $427,030.20 minus $300,000 gives us $127,030.20. So the total interest paid on the mortgage is $127,030.20. This concludes example 4.